Hi, my name is Nathan Lone, and I will be talking about many things in this presentation, but the main points I will hit on are a little about me. I will talk about my expectations going into college, and I will talk about how college has gone so far for me. I will elaborate on my plans for the rest of college and beyond, and I will talk about the challenges I have and what I'm still doing to overcome those challenges. First, I want to share a little bit about myself. I went to Livonia Stevenson High School. I played LJO basketball, and I took a coding and web design class at the Livonia Career Technical Center. Being an introvert and knowing that I needed to expand out to more people, when I was applying to college, I assumed it would be a time to meet new people, also to network with as many people as I can. This is because I knew that being able to do all of the networking now could potentially land me a job in the future. If I did not land a job, I could at least practice networking with my classmates to practice the skills I would need when I end up in a workplace. But when I was about to start college, COVID happened, and that changed things a lot. First, I did not know what to expect for the classes since I assumed that everything was going to be in person. During my senior year of high school, when the pandemic hit, my classes moved to online, so I knew what to expect in regards to online learning. The part about this that made me the most confused was how to make a connection with people so that I could be the best as I could at college. The pandemic also affected my work life because I was planning on getting a job during my first year, but I did not feel comfortable going into a workplace setting at the time. With all that being said, the pandemic left me in the not best situation. And I feel like that when I do go back into the workplace environment, I have to make sure that I try to be the best as I can to make sure I get the most out of it. While I was at college, I thought the best thing I could do was to pick classes that had live sessions, but the ones that I did end up going to were optional live sessions. So you never knew who would show up or like when they would talk and all that stuff. Even when we had projects to do together, it was all through Zoom and we never could like meet at actual times. And we always had to like send messages through email and stuff. So we never could like be on the same page at the same time with each other. Given that the College of Business has had a lot of online classes prior to COVID, I felt like the professors should have stepped up to the plate and provided a better teaching environment for the students. For example, some professors would post videos from other times that would include a due date that was wrong, and we didn't know when it was actually due. However, there were some good parts to online classes as well. I felt like when a teacher provided a good structured outline, I was able to follow it and be able to submit my assignments. And I was able to follow it and then teach myself the material. My time management increased as well because I was able to do all of my classes and submit everything that needed to get done. I also feel like my flexibility skills increased as well because I was able to transition to online and continue to do my work. As more and more jobs go hybrid and remote, I feel like having these two traits will really help in the future. Doing the Talent Gateway has helped increase the skills that I need for a job, like the interview because it lets you think about how you can do better in the future, or reading an article and responding to it, which gives you insights on beliefs that you may have not thought of yourself. In summary, while it was unfortunate that COVID hit and wasn't sure how I was going to meet new people, I was able to adapt to online classes, improving my time management and flexibility. Talent Gateway provided a developmental opportunities during this time when the opportunities weren't available. Looking forward to the next couple of years into college, I need to make sure that I get jobs or internships that will lead me to a career, as I do not have the experience that most would have due to the pandemic. I need to excel in these jobs to strengthen my overall skill set. I do have some challenges that I continue to work on. I need to step out of my comfort box and talk more with others. This will also help me work in a team. I also need to talk in more detail when explaining things and not assume others know what I am talking about. I continue to work on these so that they become easier. During the pandemic, this is where I spent most of my time because it was my classroom. Thank you. I appreciate your time.